The Law of One, Book 1, Part 15, Session 8, January 26, 1981. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. I communicate now. Questioner. I have a question regarding what I call the advertising of the Confederation. It has to do with free will. There have been certain contacts allowed, as I understand, by the Confederation, but this is limited because of free will of those who are not oriented in such a way as to want contact. Many people on our planet want this material, but even though we disseminate it, many will not be aware that it is available. Is there any possibility of creating some effect which I would call advertising, or is this against the principle of free will? I am Ra. Consider, if you will, the path your life experience complex has taken. Consider the coincidences and odd circumstances by which one thing flowed to the next. Consider this well. Each entity will receive the opportunity that each needs. This information, source beingness, does not have uses in the life experience complex of each of those among your peoples who seek. Thus, the advertisement is general and not designed to indicate the searching out of any particular material, but only to suggest the noumenal aspect of the illusion. Questioner. You said that some of the landings at this time were of the Orion Group. Why did the Orion Group land here? What is their purpose? I am Ra. Their purpose is conquest, unlike those of the Confederation who wait for the calling. The so-called Orion Group calls itself to conquest. As we have said previously, their objective is to locate certain mind-body-spirit complexes which vibrate in resonance with their own vibrational complex, then to enslave the unelite, as you may call those, who are not of the Orion vibration. Questioner. Was the landing at Pascagoula in 1973 when Charlie Hickson was taken aboard this type of landing? I am Ra. The landing of which you speak was what you would call an anomaly. It was neither the Orion influence nor our people's in thought form, but rather a planetary entity of your own vibration which came through quarantine in all innocence in random landing. Questioner. What did they do to Charlie Hickson when they took him on board? I am Ra. They used his mind-body-spirit complex's life experience, concentrating upon the experience of the complexes of what you call war. Questioner. How did they use him? I am Ra. The use of experience is to learn. Consider a race who watches a movie. It experiences a story and identifies with the feelings, perceptions, and experiences of the hero. Questioner. Was Charlie Hickson originally of the same social memory complex of the ones who picked him up? I am Ra. This entity, a vibratory sound complex, did not have a connection with those who used him. Questioner. Did those who use him use his war experiences to learn more of the Law of One? I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner. Did the entities who picked him up have the normal configuration? His description of them was rather unusual. I am Ra. The configuration of their beings is their normal configuration. The unusualness is not remarkable. We ourselves, when we choose a mission among your peoples, needed to study your peoples, for had we arrived in no other form than our own, we would have been perceived as light. Questioner. What density were the entities who picked up Charlie Hickson from? I am Ra. The entities in whom you show such interest are third-density beings of a fairly advanced order. We should express the understanding to you that these entities would not have used the mind-body-spirit complex, Charlie, except for the resolve of this entity before incarnation to be of service. Questioner. What was the home or origin of the entities who picked up Charlie? I am Ra. These entities are of the Sirius galaxy. Questioner. Would it be possible for any of us to have contact with the Confederation in a more direct way? I am Ra. In observing the distortions of those who underwent this experiential sequence, we decided to gradually back off, shall I say, from direct contact in thought form. The least distortion seems to be available in mind-to-mind communication. Therefore, the request to be taken aboard is not one we care to comply with. You are most valuable in your present orientation. May we ask at this time if you have a needed short query before we end this session? Questioner: is there anything that we can do to make our instrument more comfortable? I am Ra. The instrument is well balanced. It is possible to make small corrections in the configuration of the spine of the instrument that it be straighter. Continue also to continually monitor the placement and orientation of the symbols used. This particular session, the sensor is slightly off and, therefore, this instrument will experience a slight discomfort. Questioner: is the sensor off in respect to angle or in respect to lateral displacement? I am Ra. There is an approximate 3 degrees displacement from proper perpendicularity. I am Ra. I leave you in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one Creator. Adonai.